So I got my first piece of plywood cut. I tried recording it. It didn't really go as planned. Oh well. Anyways, it's pretty good. That jig I made out of that piece of flat strap worked pretty good, I think. This is just kind of bowed. I think it'll be fine though. Nice tight line all the way down. And then over here, you can see the jig we used on the second cut got a little bit off. So we're a little bit short, or we weren't cutting as much material as I thought we were going to. But it actually turned out okay, because had we cut on that original line, it would have been kind of loose. So I think we're just going to take the PA and just kind of just take our time and kind of trim it up where it fits real flush and tight. I know you got to leave a little bit of room for mill bill to paint, you know, on the angle iron and on the thing itself, on the wood itself. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. But anyways, we're going to trim that up, and then that'll allow us to get this thing flush. In other news, it's very obvious that the headache rack has a bow. The plywood's probably got a slight little bow, kind of like this, I'm sure, which will support, once we get all this stuff in here, they'll support that, so that'll take care of that bow. But the headache rack, I knew it had a bow on it. You could see it. You could see it whenever in paint. It kind of had a nice little arch, but I kind of like it like that, to be honest with you. It kind of helps, you know, water move. It's not going to be able to have water standing. So it kind of worked out that way, but it does make kind of a weird looking arch, which is a bit of a pity, because it would have looked a lot better if it was flatter. But the sills we're going to use will cover that out, and of course the wood will be blacked out or dark, so it won't be as obvious once this is black. As well, again, we're going to have some sills, and that will mount on the C-channel of the headache rack, and that will make flush with the plywood, and that will kind of fill the void, and won't make it as obvious. I mean, you'll still notice it, but you know, it is what it is at this point. We're a little bit too far into the job now to kind of go back and try to fix that. But anyways, so just wanted to show y'all this. I'm very proud of this. This is something I wanted to do for a very long time. It's definitely been a cluster getting to this point. But yeah, it's very cool. Very, very cool. Also, I didn't record doing this, but I also got the rails tacked in here, or stitch welded, or whatever you want to say, but I'm still considering this as tack welds basically right now. Nothing really special, just cut the angle iron to 70.5 inches, and then just stitch weld them both sides. I went ahead and did full runs. My thoughts were, if there is water, hopefully the water will kind of drain. You can't see it right now, but the bed I don't know if it's supposed to have it or if it's just, you know, from 20 years of being rough driving. The bed without the rails has a natural kind of curvature to it, you know, so it's the highest right here, and then it kind of slopes down towards the front and slopes down towards the back. Again, I'm not sure if that's by design by Mazda or Ford, or if that's just from, you know, said 25, almost 30 years of, you know, just abuse, essentially. But either way, I try to mimic that with this angle iron, so on both sides, it's got pretty much the same effect. This is about the highest point in the center, and then it kind of dips down towards the front and dips down towards the rear, which I'm hoping the water will kind of run and drain off. I know some of these, like OEM style ones, have little rain channels or collection tubes at the end of these runs, on the very ends, that just go kind of on the bottom of the bed and kind of out of the bed. And that we might try to do something like that, or whatever. But I'm hoping if we have this thing sewed up tight enough, you know, as far as the wood goes, and then time we add our little secondary sill on this surface right here, I think it'll be fine. And plus, it's not that critical. If it gets wet, it gets wet. It's you know, again, it's not critical. Anyway, so I'm gonna get the stuff trimmed, and yeah, we're going to go from there, I guess. So I'll see y'all then. So I finally got it trimmed. Not too much. I'm thinking I got a little bit much there, obviously. It's not as tight as I want it to be. But it is tight pretty much the rest of the way on the driver's side. There's a few spots, like right there, it got a little bit wild. But here though, obviously it's a little bit kind of messed up on that edge, which kind of sucks. So that's probably one of the more critical parts. So it's kind of a pity that that's where it messed up at, but oh well. This side, you can tell it's not as tight. It's kind of tight towards the edge, but it's not as tight towards the back of this thing. It still kind of wants to float, which is okay. But anyways, so this is in. I'm pretty happy with this. A few things that I kind of want to do. I want to build the supports to support this, obviously. This is given quite a good idea of how it's a 3/4 inch plywood, but it's not very stable. I mean, it's strong. I bet you could stand on it, but it just feels like it would give a lot, which isn't really a bad thing. But I just kind of want to do a little more strong than that. So we might have to look into some like reinforcements, some angle iron reinforcements, some kind of that. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to look into it, especially on, of course, the back cover. But this cover isn't as critical just because it will have, you know, the hard mounts, you know, supports. But anyways, it comes out pretty easy. You can just kind of slide it in and out. One thing you gotta remember, when the wings are on, you know, they're kind of concave, so you're not gonna be able to just, you know, pop it out like this and kind of pull it out, because you're gonna hit the wings. So you're gonna have to kind of, you know, pull it out and then kind of come out at an angle, which kind of sucks, but it's we kind of knew that going into it. So, but anyways, very cool. And I decided when I should show this earlier, but when I did this measurement, I decided to go ahead and make it overhang the wheel. That way it's just like a one piece. So instead of having like two pieces, like originally we talked about having like a half piece and stuff. Instead of doing that, we decided just to make it one piece. Yes, you will have to move all your other stuff, but again, it's one of those things. I am kind of thinking about trying to figure out a way how to make the back section not as critical to remove, just to get your spare tire out. So if we can like figure out a way to like make them like where they can just kind of shift almost. But yeah, again, that's really not critical, just something that'd be nice to have. That way you're not having to take all your, you know, your bed covers off on the side of the road to get a spare tire out. Although, again, that is kind of to be expected at some point, especially with something as kind of unique as this. I guess it's just part of it. But anyways, so I'm going to start working on the chambers, I think, just so we can kind of get an idea of how that's going to fit and how it's going to work. Although I say that, I might, while I'm still working on the main measurements, I might try to get this back closeout panel made as well. Again, right now it's kind of a little bit confused. really what to do here. Again, I think it needs to be, you know, the less pieces, the less seams, the better, right? I mean, obviously, the less seams, the less chance of water getting in, or dust or whatever, you know, debris and stuff. But also, but with less seams, you got bigger pieces, and bigger pieces means there's that much more room to take up. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna do it, but I'm gonna put the wings back on, and we'll see if we can make them kind of monofold kind of work at all, maybe. But more than likely, I'm probably gonna say it's probably gonna have to be like a two-piece. Unfortunately, that or some kind of like secondary weird fold-in thing. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to kind of look. I'm kind of curious to see how this is gonna work out. But anyways, so just want to show y'all this. I'm gonna go start trying to figure out what to do on this, and then I'll bring y'all back once I get all that figured out. So, working on Noah, you might notice something's changed. Basically, where we last left off, I just got done working on this piece, which originally was for the front section, and I was going to work on the back section. And then I had a moment where I thought I was going to do a three-piece setup where there'd be one small intermediate piece in between that would allow for, obviously, this piece, which would have been smaller than this piece, but this piece to be able to come out, but then this piece would have been able to pivot, or this piece would have served as the base for the pivot point for this piece, which would open up, which is kind of hard to do because it's kind of tight, but would open up like that, essentially. So anyways, that was the ideal. But of course, the logic was, well, the more seams you have, the more, you know, opportunity for moisture and leaks and all that stuff. So what I decided to do, I had a big brain moment. Turns out this piece, that again was originally for the front, was the perfect size to go from the tailgate to the edge of the wing, which is kind of hard to tell, but this is where the wing stops. It's this bolt right here. So this piece can pivot here, and it doesn't interfere with the wing at all. So very cool. So anyways, so instead of doing like a three-piece setup, I decided just to make another big piece for the front, move this to the back, and now we have a two-piece setup. And again, this piece I'm thinking right now will actuate or whatever, you know, cycle like this. If you need to get to the back to your spare tire and to your batteries, we're probably gonna have ports here, probably. I think. I don't know yet. We might be wrong about that. I think we're gonna have ports, like service ports, to get to like the radio controls and like the batteries. If we don't, then you pretty much just have to unhook this, move this out of the way, and then unhook this, and then pretty much the same way that originally it was going to be. There was I really couldn't figure out a way to minimize that effect. You know, with the wings on there and the you know, it's kind of right now it's kind of deceptive without the wings and without the shell on there, but there's not much room at all, so it's kind of deceptive. You can't really just make it, you know, do a fold or do whatever, you know. It's just you know, it's just not a really good design, truthfully, as far as what we're trying to do here. But anyways, so this is the best I came up with. The only other ideal that I did have originally that kind of would have worked depending on our style if we weren't just trying to keep some cargo space. You know, another ideal we had was to do runners, you know, from the wheel wells out, and that would have gave us clearance enough so we could have made just, you know, mono piece, you know, runners alongside the edges to, you know, obviously clear the wings, and then we could have just one big mono or however many folds you wanted in the middle, and that could have, you know, piano hinged and folded back onto one another. That was the original ideal. And it kind of had a chamber in the middle, but again, you lost a lot of space. You know, you wouldn't have all of this, and you wouldn't have all of that. Again, you're not really gaining much by not doing it. You're not really losing much by doing it. Either way, you know, it's there's not much room here really to work with. However, I don't know. I just kind of figured less is more in a sense. You know, if we can keep just the tire and the batteries chambered off, and still maintain all of this for like just kind of like throw storage. I think that's pretty cool. And if we have to add chambers, we can add chambers later. It's really not that big of a deal. So yeah, anyway, so that's kind of the mentality right now. But anyway, so this is pretty much done in a sense. I guess I need to figure out what I want to put on these things. If I'm going to do bed liner or try to wrap them, I'm not really sure. The clearances are probably a little bit too tight for bed for either, really. And of course, you know, this is kind of some lower quality plywood, so of course we got a bunch of knots and stuff and chips on the edges and stuff. So it's gonna be a little bit of a pity to try to get those kind of filled up. I'm not sure how hard I really want to kind of go on that. And of course I got to get sills. I'm gonna try to find some aluminum angle iron sill flashing stuff. I think it exists. I can see it in my head, but I don't really know. If not, we'll just use regular angle iron. But we'll put one kind of in between there. Those pieces, you can see there is a bit of a gap, and yeah, this side is up a little bit, but it's just a little bit of a gap. You can barely see it, but it's a little like an 1/8 inch gap there, which is a bit of a pity. I'm kind of assuming that's just from, you know, one piece being kind of inverted and warped, and the other way warped around, you know. But anyway, so we're gonna have to kind of sill there. Obviously, the front will be supported pretty well with all the bracing and stuff for the wheel and battery box. But yeah, I guess at some point for this, since this will hinge up and again, it all needs to be load bearing, we might go in with like some angle iron on the back side, like an X bar, just kind of help support it. Maybe that's an idea still I'm playing with it. If we do it, it's probably made out of aluminum angle iron just to keep the weight down, because I mean we need to keep the weight down. It's already pretty heavy. This 3/4 inch plywood is pretty stout. That's pretty heavy too. But anyways, so just wanted to show you all this. So this is where we're at now. So we've still got a lot of work to do, but we are going to push forward now. I feel a lot more confident now that we have the rails on. So I probably gotta weld those still, or stitch weld. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, but yeah, I'm a lot more confident now with the rails on and this cut out. Kind of a proof of concept. This was one of my big concerns, was how we're gonna make this work. So I mean, now it's kind of starting more problems. Now we gotta figure out hinges and, you know, lift solenoids and all that stuff to control this, and latches and mechanisms and all that good stuff. But that's you know, that's part of it. So we can handle that. But anyway, so I'm going to probably now start working on the battery box and the tire wheel gate thing, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I will bring you back once I get all that done. So just working on the battery box, divider, whatever you want to call it. I got this piece notched and kind of fit where it's happy with. Just kind of rough notch with skill saw, nothing crazy, kind of quick. And then same thing over here, just notched around the angle line there. Messed up on my measurements, who would have thought. It is 15.5 inches from the top rib to the bottom of the board of the cover, which is fine. It's what this is. It's perfect. However, you will notice that this piece is on the edge of that angle. And yes, I know some carpenter people, like Sabrina Carpenter, probably could just cut that at a bevel and make it perfectly flush on that, and no muss, no fuss, right? But I'm not Sabrina Carpenter, and I didn't do that. So anyways, we got a little bit of a dip, and it won't be full contact, but I figured we just shim it to make it work. I think we'll be fine. So that's kind of a bit of a shame, but yeah, so that's the thing. Anyways, that's what it looks like. It's a bit tight, as to be expected, but I am going to make a secondary platform here that will hold the amp, the fuse block, all that good stuff, and then it will just kind of fold out and be able to come out, essentially. And then, let me see here, and then you'll notice that there is nothing done on the tire, and that is simply because of I don't know, I guess I'm at a point where I'm kind of thinking, you know, if we did something, we're going to have like a gate, it'd have to be able to open up, it'd be somewhat easily removable to get the spare tire out. But I guess at this point I'm thinking, don't do anything, just do a strap or something, around whatever, maybe off the main support. I know it's a bit ghetto, but in that way, if you don't need your spare, you can just, you know, no gate or nothing, you can just undo the strap, pull it out, and then you've got all this room to utilize. So that's my logic, at least, for right now. We'll see how that works out or not. During the benefit of having that kind of gate would have been to keep kind of trash and debris from getting on the edges, which, I mean, obviously will happen. But I'm kind of hoping that since the bed cover will have a bed cover on it, and I'm hoping it won't be as much debris to get in here. So, yeah, that's kind of my hope. Anyways, I think that's the best way to do this, at least for right now. We can always add it later. It's no big deal. You know, if we decide we actually want a hard chamber, we can do that too. But I think for right now this is fine. We can still slide it out and push it back in. So yeah, I think it works pretty good. I'm happy with it. I really am happy with it. I'm still probably gonna try to do some kind of little like hub adapter thing. I don't know how I'm gonna do this just yet. I'm just kind of thinking, but like if I make a piece of plywood in a circle to like kind of like mount on here and like as a platform for my secondary battery box, or my third battery box, I think that's something kind of cool I've been playing around with. And there might be like Amazon special kits like specifically for like a 19-inch drum. I don't know, probably worth looking into. But yeah, so another thing another stupid thing I kind of thought about was like you can make like a fiberglass sub box and put a like little like 10-inch or 8-inch sub in here for your outside marine speakers. But that was kind of a stupid idea I had. But I don't know how to do that, so we're not gonna do that. But anyways, I just wanted to show you all that. So a lot of progress got done today. I'm very proud of the progress we got done today. Not much, obviously, just something as simple as 2 rails and a few pieces of plywood. But it's taken me a long time, and it's really been kind of daunting for me just to overthink everything like always. Just trying to overcomplicate stuff. So yeah, I'm glad I got kind of the rough shell figured out. From here, really, since we're not going to really do any of this, now will be just simple, you know, making this more permanent, or not permanent, but, you know, more sustainable, more solid, reinforce it, and then make our little platform for the amp and the fuse block and all that good stuff. And then really pretty much be done. There are a few little things like the exterior radio. I don't know where I'm going to put that at yet. It's a switch. Right now I don't really know where I'm going to put it at, but I'm kind of wondering if I couldn't put it in like here. I mean, I don't really want to cut my bed, but I wonder if I can just put it in here, you know, and or make like a the kind of a standalone switch panel, if that makes sense. Like instead of like cutting a big hole in the bed, maybe just come off the nuts, the bolts here, with like a little metal bracket. Yeah, and then like kind of like we did on the Noah's front end with aluminum, just take aluminum and make like a little aluminum kind of little like you know, switch panel. Again, you won't be drilling any holes in the thing. You're just be coming off the threads of the bolts, you know, the thing. But then that would be your switch panel for your, you know, your light switches, your radio control, all that good stuff. Again, just an ideal. I don't know, need to think about that a little bit more. Originally I was going to put the switch and the radio controls in the headache rack, but obviously I forgot to do that, unfortunately. So yeah, so kind of working from behind there, but hopefully I can figure something out there too. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what else to do. I'm going to probably call it a day. Mosquitoes are getting pretty gnarly out here. But yeah, very proud of this. I am extremely proud of this, actually. We're gonna have to work on the spoiler sooner than later, sooner than I thought we would have to, just because to figure out the sealing and all that. But that's no big deal. That shouldn't be a big deal, I don't think. But yeah, so I will come back and bring it back next time I work on this thing. So, peace. So a lot's happened since our last little video. I'm pretty sure I already showed you I got both pieces of plywood cut for the bed cover, the long one and the short one. Short one's over there. But working on the bed rails and on the kind of supports on this thing. Again, the main thing we wanted to do was we wanted to be able to stand and put load on these boards. So basically we're going to use angle iron. I was going to use aluminum angle iron, but it's like 5 times the price as regular steel angle iron, so we're going to end up using mild steel angle iron, which is great. Anyways, kind of give y'all a little overview of what my plan is here. So you can see I made 4 of these pieces here. So they're the full length of the interior rails, obviously with a notch on one end to accommodate the angle iron where they kind of sit flush. You can kind of see there. So I got 4 of these. We will use these to kind of encapsulate the edges of the plywood. And also give us a nice flat, strong surface to put seals on, so also very cool. This will have holes in it on the bottom that will kind of screw into the wood. So we'll see how that works out. Anyways, oh gosh. See, it also kind of slides a little bit better too. But anyways, let me pull this piece of wood out a little bit further back. Anyways, so you can see here's the other one too. Again, this will be attached to the wood. You can see my amp and all that, just kind of dabbling with that right now. Anyways, so for the hinges, I didn't know how to really do the hinges on this thing, but I think don't overcomplicate it. Simple is better. So anyways, I think I'm going to take some angle iron, about this length, maybe more depending on the support we want. And I'm going to invert it like this, and pretty much just go like that, and weld it like that. And then I'm going to drill a hole in that piece to wherever a pivot point we want a pivot point at. And that will be the vehicle side hinge point. But again, just something simple like that, weld that, have a hole right there. We'll have a grade 8 piece of bolt hardware for shoulder going through that. That's what the hinge bolt will be. And then we're going to have, basically on this plywood, we're going to have it framed out with angle iron. So essentially, you can imagine this piece of plywood being inverted, essentially, basically what we're working with here. We'll have basically pieces about like so. We'll have a piece like this on both sides along the edge, pretty much running symmetrical or parallel with this end, and then we'll have kind of splitters in the middle, obviously to support that extra weight, kind of like you would like a house on a wall, like a studs. And then we'll have 2 in the center, and then we'll have again another one of these on the edge. Of course, these will be welded to the bottom of these, which ties it all together, makes it real strong. But anyways, again, so like we were talking about doing this, it's going to be essentially inverted. So essentially, this is what you'd end up doing. And again, if you have a hole between the 2 pieces of metal and you have a bolt, and it's kind of hard to show you all this, but it's kind of imagine this, but it would hinge. But it would hinge like that, and basically it would open like that. So yeah, so that's kind of my mentality. Of course, it's all being still inverted right now. But yeah, so that's the ideal. We're gonna see how it works out once we get everything kind of put together. But yeah, so I've already got the metal cut for the front and the back, so we'll see. So working on Noah, the back track, or the back section of the thing, working on the hinges, had a few designs and came up with this one I'm pretty happy with. basically the hinge itself is a slot, which allows it to, one, do several things. It allows it to be flush and tight with this to maintain a small gap, in that section, but also allows us to pull out and open up quite high. So main thing is I wanted to make sure we had enough, when this thing's open, we have enough clearance to be able to get stuff in, groceries in, from the tailgate side, with the tailgate closed, and this height should allow us to do just that, and plus it will also allow us to keep that middle gap tight, which is what we wanted. Originally, before I made it slot where it can move, it was gonna have to be like out like way out here, like really wide gap to better clearance, the lift. But with this slide, it's able to, obviously, rest and be flush, against the front board, and then when you need to open it, we can pull it out, and it gives us that much more clearance. So, pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that. It took way too long to figure that out. It's been pretty simple to figure out, but it took me a while to figure it out. But anyways, so that's done. I've got to readjust my arms here and reattach the crossbar and then do our cross bracing and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much, I guess proof of concept is there, I guess. So anyway, so that's what we're working with now. I'm going to try to get these things taken care of and done today. That way they can get primer tonight, and then maybe even paint the headache rack, although we might just wait to paint all of it at once. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's just what I'm working on right now. It's a lot of kind of fine details, fine tuning, so to speak, to get this thing kind of right. But yeah, so I'm going to work on this to try to get it a little bit more tighter and close, clearances a little bit better, and get a little bit more firm and kind of, I guess, more robust kind of designs, I guess. And then from there, we'll hopefully start getting it ready for paint. And then we can move on to actually addressing the actual plywood and making that more of a weatherproofed option. So yeah, so I'm going to do this, and then I will come back probably once it's done. I'm just kind of give y'all an overview of kind of how I did things, because it is kind of hard to record the in-process developing and stuff and building it, because it is a work week. It is a work week, a work day. So having to run off, every now and then, answer phones and answer emails and stuff is kind of hard to really, sit down and focus on just one thing. But anyways, I'm going to get this done, and I'll bring it back once I get a little bit closer. So I'll see y'all later. So I've got the plywood, getting ready to put the deck cover on it. I'm going to do the back side first, where it's going to sit on the angle iron, and then we're going to flip it. It's probably going to hit the sawhorse, which is a bit of a pity, but I'm not really worried about it too much. But yeah, we're going to do that, and then we'll roll it on the other side, do that side, and let it sit. We'll do one coat tonight, let it sit. Dry times for 4 hours, 6 hours, depending on your climate. I'll let it sit overnight and then come back tomorrow and just recoat it, what we missed. What I ended up deciding to go with is the Bear Premium Advanced Deck Over. Pretty excited about this. It's textured, which is pretty cool. I got them to mix. I was at Home Depot, and I was like, well, I don't really like the brown, can y'all make it not brown? And the guy was like, yeah, I got you, bro. Anyway, so he made it, I think this is a bear color. It's a slate gray. That's what the code is. Anyways, but it's textured, and I've got the Bear Extra Friction Texture Roller, as well as some kind of generic roller pans. So yeah, I'm going to start doing this, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to try to record it. It's been kind of hard to record, I think, but I'm going to try to record it because I think it's been pretty satisfying, I think, and I'm really excited about this. So yeah, this has been on the shaker for a few hours. I'm going to stir it up with a paint stick, of course, and then we'll just see how it works. Very thick. I'm not really sure how much it's going to take, so we're just going to kind of get all of it here. I need to wipe that up. I only got hate about pouring stuff out of it. It's always a mess trying to pour stuff. Let that go on. On my hands. I probably should have gloves on, but we don't have gloves, so we're not going to do that. Alright, this is a way bigger roller than we need. Actually, I'm going to get a brush. I lied. I did not get a brush. I got a smaller roller. It's got dirt all over it. Alright, this is not going well. I'm just going to do like a fiber texture. For the bottom side. Here. So I guess you just roll it on, I guess. Wow. It is definitely chunky. I'm also gonna put it on top of the knots, just so it might seal better. I'm not really sure how that really works, but take the edges. phone just fell into it. No. That's fine. We'll do it like this. Oh yeah. Freaking professional, bro. Get the can of oil off this thing. Oh yeah, this camera angle is way better. Oh yeah. Look at this. So basically we're just gonna keep doing this. The bad thing about this pan is that like it's getting into like the channels, and I don't think we're gonna be able to get to that, but oh well. So you can see I'm putting it on very wet. That's kind of the point though, I think, of this stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I think you want it wet. I'm trying to put it in the cracks too. I think it might help hold it together. I think. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure this is going to be a very much so a learning experience. There's going to be a learning curve required to really master this material. I bet. But we'll see. Okay, I just want to fill that crack. Here, I'm gonna do the knots too. Alright. I'm gonna move my pan real quick. God, this stuff is really heavy, by the way. Like, it is incredibly heavy. Like, it's very, very solid material. Which is probably what we want. And I guess I gotta do the sides too, which is gonna be a pain in the butt. But we will manage. Material. It definitely takes a lot to cover. Again, I might be putting it on too thick. I'm not really sure the exact how you supposed to put this on, but yeah. So that's what we're doing basically. I got all the thingamajiggers covered. So now I'm gonna start doing the sides, which I'm sure is gonna be a pain and it's going to suck. And actually, we're not gonna do the sides. We're gonna wait to do the sides until we flip it over because that's big brain. So now we're gonna move over, take this, and move over to the other piece, which I have conveniently ready to go because I'm professional. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start, since we got some big old not, so I'm just gonna start by giving a nice little layer of stuff in that. Oh yeah. This is not how you're supposed to use this stuff, by the way. I think this is just me having a seizure, I believe, but very nice. Alright. Now with that, let's actually start our actual line here. Again, just going to do the outlines where the metal is going to be riding, or what's going to ride the metal on, pretty much. Of course, so crossbars. And then I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit, and then we're going to flip it. I'm sure it's going to get into the sawhorse and all that good stuff. That's, I guess, kind of okay, because I just want to get another coat. I want to get a first coat on our main side. But I'm definitely thinking we're going to need to use the extra texture one, because this doesn't seem to have much texture. I mean, this is a foam roller, so it's supposed to be like extra smooth, but like that's not the finish I don't think I want. At least I don't think I want this kind of texture. I want a little bit more texture, I think. And my roller's starting to do weird stuff. I don't know why it does that, but here I can't see anything, but just me going mental, and the camera's like half off and stuff. I'm concentrating really hard. If you can't tell, this is taking all of my brain power right now to do. Alright. Again, it doesn't really want to cover very well, so we're going to have to kind of keep hitting it. This will definitely be, one coat would definitely be enough for the bottom side like this. You know, I'm not worried about the bottom side as much as it will be the top, but the top I think is definitely going to have several coats, just going off of how this is trying to kind of lay in, so to speak, so I would definitely have to keep that in mind. Alright, let me do this other brace, and then we will go from there. And then I'm gonna have to sit y'all down and then try to flip this thing and probably make a freaking absolute mess, probably. But hopefully the other side is tacked. Well, I guess we'll just see, and we'll wait and see how tacky it's gotten, or if it's not tacky at all. I guess we'll see. I am noticing it's starting to kind of like soak into the wood. So it's a bit concerning, a bit worrying. We might have to recoat this bottom side because it's going to keep soaking in like that. Which I think it'll be fine, but I don't know. Definitely something we'll have to keep an eye on. So I am going to, let's go over here and check how tacky this side is, if it is tacky. Oh yeah, this stuff's like dry. Crazy, bro. Alright, so I'm going to flip this. I'm trying to record this. Somehow I'm going to do this. Hold up, let me find a place to figure out how to put my phone somewhere. Alright, let me pause the camera and then I'll bring it back. That way I can make a smaller recording. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do the sides real quick on this one piece before I move on to the other side. Now this is gonna be just a shit show. They do say to use a brush to do this part, but obviously I can't differentiate from a brush to a roller, so we're gonna use a roller, which I'm sure the guys at Bear right now are throwing their Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, or Code Red into the freaking monitor right now because I'm making a mockery of their $1 billion investment program on how to apply paint. But yeah, I'm a professional, guys. Okay, this is not my first rodeo, guys. All right, get this loaded up here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's just, it's definitely got a bit of texture, don't it? Alright. I could see where a brush might be potentially a bit better for applicating on this, but you know, that's just, see, we're doing R&D for Bear. I'm gonna send them an invoice for R&D. This is what happens when they don't have plywood on like the like you can, like, you don't have where you can like put this on plywood. It's like now they know because of me, because of my scientific efforts in a very controlled environment. All right, we know now, Bear, that we can put this on plywood with a roller on the edges. You're welcome. Gosh, look how beautiful that is. That is just that is just freaking amazing. Oh yeah. Sometimes the roller don't want to roll either. I don't know why it does that, but like it doesn't want to roll. Like it wants to like lock up. Like it doesn't have ABS or something. I don't know what the hell it's about, but Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. Like, oh, just trying to squish them in there. You know what I'm saying, boys? I know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, this is... God, look how professional that looks, bro. Alright, now I'm gonna go flip that side and do the edges. And then we'll do the big one, the big roller. Alright boys, we're back on this side doing the rolling. Oh shit, I can't even see anything. Hold up, let me... Alright, you have to forgive my terrible camera work. I'm concentrating very hard trying to do this. This is a very stressful situation here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's just... God, that's perfect. I've never actually rolled anything until the night, so like, you know, Snoop Dogg, I'm sorry, I guess. I never was taught how to roll, you know. I don't even know if I have the right substance to roll. You know, apparently this Bear stuff is not really regulated, so I'm not really sure how edgy I am right now. And I know all the cool kids roll stuff, you know, so I'm not sure if it's Bear decal over paint. I'm just not sure if it's that or not, but, you know, I guess all the edgy kids out there, let me know, I guess, you know. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. My parents like the smooth parts, like the ones like I've sanded, covers way better a roller than like the non-sanded ones. Who would have thought that one? Oh yeah. Bro, this is going really well actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying this. This is so much fun. Of course not as fun as a Sabrina Carpenter concert, but you know. Close second. Real close second. Although there is a lot less screaming and feeling absolutely, utterly alone as a single straight male. Has no game whatsoever. In a room quite literally full of carpenters. My people. My peeps. Caleb knows what I'm talking about. Shout out to Caleb. Caleb, use the Martin guitar. You haven't used it since freaking 17. What the hell, Caleb? Everyone that watches this video, please tag Sabrina Carpenter's guitarist Caleb and tell him to bring back the Martin. Do it for the do it for the memes. I love that Martin. Alright, so I'm going to retire this brush. Probably wasted it, really. You probably can't reuse this. I'm not sure how that works. But I'm going to put a little bit more on because it's definitely not going to be enough for all of this. It took that much just to do the freaking edges. So I'm going to add some more of this stuff in here, and then we're going to get the big roller out and start doing the main sweeps. And then, yeah, I will bring it back. A bit of a pity we had to waste this roller, but I think it worked well. So, yeah, I'm going to do that, and I will bring it back in a wee bit. Actually, before that, I'm going to just lob some more stuff. Actually, I can't see it. I'm going to lob a bit more stuff in this crack here. Like it's Bondo or something. Oh, there's more cracks. Hold up. Hold up. Keep it right there, folks. Don't touch that dial. There we go. Is there any more cracks and holes? No, I don't see no more cracks or holes. Alright, crash diverted. Alright, now I'm going to do it. So I'll bring it back in a bit. Alright, so we're getting ready to start the big boy. Hopefully this goes right. I have no idea. This potentially could be really bad. But I guess we're going to find out, I guess. And I don't know how you're supposed to actually do this, but I'm just going to load it up real good, Mr. Krabs. And, okay, that's like 20 pounds. Jesus fuck. Alright, we're going to give her a whirl here. It's definitely a bit more coarse. You know? I can totally vouch for that. Jesus Christ, I throw shit. Bro. It might be a little bit too coarse, but it's fine. It's fine. Just gotta... Oh my god, dude. This is fucking cool as hell, dude. This looks so fucking cool. Holy shit. Like, can y'all see the texture on this thing throwing? Like, it's like a freaking, like, texture. Like a texture. Why don't they just do this, like, for, like, walls? So, like, doing, like, the sheetrock, the mudding and stuff? Just do this. Like, are you kidding me? How cool this thing looks. I'm pretty sure I'm out of, like, paint now. Like, it's used all of that just for that one pass. But it looks so good. Like, that's gonna be crazy. Alright, so now we're gonna load it back up. Yes, sir, we gonna load that boil up. Oh, yeah. That's hot. Real hot, spicy. Oh, yeah. Look at that, dude. I definitely think you want to do, like, cross patterns because, like, just doing it, like, one way, it looks like it kind of gets kind of, like, jagged. But if you kind of go the other way around, like this, it kind of levels it back out, so, yeah. And I guess this thing, too, if you're doing, like, a regular deck board, you don't have to really worry about it, you know, you don't really got to worry about it doing, like, you know, like your brush pattern, because you're going on a, you know, kind of a rectangular, long linear rectangle thing, probably the width of the roller, so it's not really that big of a deal. Whereas like less plywood, you know, we're absolutely going to have to kind of watch our roll pattern because Unless this stuff's pretty leveling, I'm not sure if it is or not. I've got a feeling you're gonna be able to see, you know, the roll pattern, which is okay. So I'm gonna say, I imagine you're probably gonna want to do a final kind of roll once you get the whole thing covered, just to kind of help level everything out. I'm probably gonna need to move the roller pan just to do whatever, but let me get some of these edges covered pretty good here before we... This is so cool. I'm like enjoying this like no freaking... This is so fun. Like look how cool it looks. It's like a freaking... It's like I'm actually making something. Like this is like professional type shit, bro. Like very professional type shit. Alright. I'm going to... So I'm just need to put a little bit more right there in this. Alright, I'm gonna move the pan real quick. We're gonna load her up again. God, this material is going really fast. Like I'm gonna have to get more material tomorrow because like I'm not sure this is gonna be enough for like a few double coats. You know, I really don't think it's gonna be enough because like. I mean, during the second coat, I'm sure it's going to take a lot less because it's already going to be pretty much covered. But, like, dude, this is so fucking cool. Holy fuck. Look how cool it looks, bro. Oh, my God. Like, it looks good. Like, it's, like, perfect. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better finish. Like, this is just perfect. I'm going to try to finish rolling it what I have on here, and then... I'll put a lot more on, and then we'll try to kind of help level it out a little bit and make it more of a uniform look. Alright, so let's load this bitch up hard. By the way, it's throwing crap all over me, by the way, which is probably my roll technique, probably. But, alright. This is, bro, that material was like, it's all gone. Like, it's literally all gone. Well, most of it's on the trowel, I guess, but alright, so let's start doing our uniform pass. So I'm gonna go this way all the way around it, and then I'm gonna do that a second time. And I just thought about this. I should have bought another roller because it's gonna be fucked up now that I've used it. So I'm gonna have to buy another roller tomorrow. I just thought about that. I mean, the way this looks, like one coat might be enough. Like I ain't gonna lie, one coat might be really enough. Like that texture. Look how good that texture looks. That's crazy texture. But let's go this way now. It does look like it wants to level itself out, though, so I think this is kind of a waste of time, really, but I think it'll be okay. I think this just kind of adds to the experience. Just kind of help work it into that wood, maybe. Dude, this is so cool. Like, it looks so fucking good. This edge one more time because I just don't trust it. Looks like that one little piece of wood. See that wood shining? So I kind of feel like we're gonna have to hit it a second time, a second coat, just to kind of get the stuff that we miss. But dude, that looks freaking amazing. Like that's just, look at that texture, dude. I mean, look how good that texture looks. It's just like, I don't know, it just looks really good. That's crazy. Like that is so crazy. Like, it's literally like grit. That's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm so excited about that. Alright, now we're gonna walk over here and we're gonna blow off this piece of wood. And then we're gonna come back over here. And God, my pants are ruined. This stuff is everywhere, dude. That texture is everywhere. Alright, now let's get some more material, because this is not going to be enough. I'm just saying, like, we're going to have to, like, get some more, I believe, like, for another coat, I think, and another roller, too. I will say, though, I feel like that this texture might be a little bit extreme. Like, this is, of course, this is for a deck cover, so they don't want to make a shit probably for us. But, like, if this was on, like, an actual deck, I could see that being like a little bit too extreme, like a little bit too coarse. I could see that maybe hurting your feet when you're walking. But I don't know. This stuff is incredibly thick. Alright, I'm gonna pour this in here real quick and then we'll do it again. Alright, so we're getting ready to start the big boy. Hopefully this goes right. I have no idea. This potentially could be really bad, but I guess we're gonna find out, I guess. Again, I don't know how you're supposed to actually do this, but I'm just gonna load it up real good, Mr. Krabs. And okay, that's like 20 pounds. Jesus fuck. All right, we're gonna give her a whirl here. It's definitely a bit more coarse. You know, I can totally vouch for that. Jesus Christ, I throw shit. Bro. It might be a little bit too coarse, but it's fine. It's fine. Just gotta... Oh my god, dude. This is fucking cool as hell, dude. This looks so fucking cool. Holy shit. Like, can y'all see the texture on this thing throwing? Like, it's like a freaking, like, texture. Like a texture. Why don't they just do this, like, for, like, walls? So, like, doing, like, the sheetrock, the mudding and stuff, just do this. Like, are you kidding me? How cool this thing looks. I'm pretty sure I'm out of, like, paint now. Like, just used all of that just for that one pass. But it looks so good. Like, that's gonna be crazy. Alright, so now we're gonna load it back up. Yes, sir, we gonna load that boil up. Oh, yeah. That's hot, real hot, spicy. Oh yeah, look at that, dude. I definitely think you want to do like cross patterns, because like just doing it like one way, it looks like it kind of gets kind of like jagged. But if you kind of go other way around like this, it kind of levels it back out. So yeah. And I guess this thing too, if you're doing like a regular deck board, you don't have to really worry about it, you know. You don't really gotta worry about it doing like you know, like your brush pattern, because you're going on a, you know, kind of a rectangular, long linear rectangle thing, probably the width of the roller, so it's not really that big of a deal. Whereas like less plywood, you know, we're absolutely gonna have to kind of watch our roll pattern, because unless this stuff's pretty leveling, I'm not sure if it is or not. I've got a feeling you're gonna be able to see, you know, the roll pattern, which is okay. So I'm gonna say, I imagine you're probably gonna want to do a final kind of roll once you get the whole thing covered, just to kind of help level everything out. I'm probably gonna need to move my roller pan just to do whatever, but let me get some of these edges covered pretty good here before we... This is so cool. I'm like enjoying this like no freaking... This is so fun. Like look how cool it looks. It's like a freaking... It's like I'm actually making something. Like, this is like professional type shit, bro. Like very professional type shit. Alright. I'm going to... So I'm just gonna need to put a little bit more right there in this. I'm gonna move the can, real quick. We're gonna load her up again. God, this material is going really fast. Like I'm gonna have to get more material tomorrow because like I'm not sure this is gonna be enough for like a few double coats. You know, I really don't think it's gonna be enough because like, I mean, during the second coat, I'm sure it's gonna take a lot less because it's already gonna be pretty much covered. But like, dude, this is so fucking cool. Holy fuck! Look how cool it looks, bro. Oh my god. Like, it looks good. Like, it's like perfect. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better finish. Like, this is just perfect. I'm gonna try to finish rolling it what I have on here, and then I'll put a lot more on, and then we'll try to kind of help level it out a little bit and make it more of a uniform look. Alright, so let's load this bitch up hard. By the way, it's throwing crap all over me, by the way, which is probably my roll technique, probably. But, alright. This is, bro, that material was like, it's all gone. Like, it's literally all gone. Well, most of it's on the trowel, I guess, but, alright, so, alright, let's start doing our uniform pass. So I'm gonna go this way, all the way around it, and then I'm gonna do that a second time. And I just thought about this, I should have bought another roller, because it's gonna be fucked up now that I've used it, so I'm gonna have to buy another roller tomorrow. I just thought about that. I mean, the way this looks, like, one coat might be enough. Like, I ain't gonna lie. One coat might be really enough. Like that texture, look how good that texture looks. That's crazy texture. But let's go this way now. It does look like it wants to level itself out though, so I think this is kind of a waste of time, really, but I think it'll be okay. I think this just kind of adds to the experience. Just kind of help work it into that wood, maybe. Dude, this is so cool. Like, it looks so fucking good. Hit this edge one more time because I just don't trust it. It's like that one little piece of wood. See that wood shining? So I kind of feel like we're gonna have to hit it a second time, a second coat, just to kind of get the stuff that we miss. But dude, that looks freaking amazing. Like, that's just, look at that texture, dude. I mean, look how good that texture looks. It's just like, I don't know, it just looks really good. That's crazy. Like, that is so crazy. Like, it's literally like grit. That's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm so excited about that. Alright, now we're gonna walk over here and we're gonna blow off this piece again. And then we're gonna come back over here. And god, my pants are ruined. This stuff is everywhere, dude. That texture is everywhere. Alright, now let's get some more material, because this is not going to be enough. I'm just saying, like, we're going to have to, like, get some more, I believe, like, for another coat, I think, and another roller, too. I will say, though, I feel like that this texture might be a little bit extreme. Like, this is, of course, this is for a deck cover, so I don't want to make a shit probably for us. But, like, if this was on, like, an actual deck, I could see that being like a little bit too extreme, like a little bit too coarse. I could see that maybe hurting your feet when you're walking. But I don't know. stuff is incredibly thick. Alright, I'm gonna pour this in here real quick and then we'll do it again. Alright, we're on the smaller piece, but the last piece for tonight. I'm gonna get it real good here. And we're gonna give her a whirl here. Bro, this thing is so cool. Like, I love this stuff. Like, it looks so cool. And I think that gray was definitely the right call. Like, this gray, like, I mean, I know some people are like, gray, you know, what the hell, you know, like, I mean, and I get it. Like, I mean, I do get it. I mean, like, yeah, most bed covers are black. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, just kind of historically what it is. It's supposed to be black. I mean, and I get it. But my thing is like, I guess it's I don't know, it's like the heat rejection, right? You know, there's not even so much black on this thing anyways. I think the gray might just kind of help break it up a little bit. You know, and I think also, like, you know, these, like, Noah's windows and back glass and stuff have the factory, you know, metallic film on the glass itself. Which, you know, as you know, looks silver and, you know, almost like kind of like this color when it's, you know, at the right angle on the reflection. So I think it's just going to kind of tie into that, and if not, it'll tie into the chrome bumpers and stuff. So yeah. Now I wonder how like heavy you're supposed to put this, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really read the instructions, and I didn't really see in the instructions where it said like preferred, you know, coat thicknesses and stuff. I don't know if it's like a car paint or like it's got mill build or stuff, but I don't know, I'm just kind of putting it on heavy, and I think it'll just kind of level itself out, especially as long as we let it dry, which we're gonna have, you know, it's gonna have plenty of time to dry. I mean, you know, if they're saying like, you know, let it sit for 4 hours, 6 hours before recoat, it's gonna have plenty of time. It's gonna have more than that to do. So I'll move this down real quick. And I'm not even sure if I was recording anything. Yeah, I'm like concentrating so hard trying to do this. Alright. Got all this stuff dripping here. We're gonna put it on here. And I think this roller does help too, like kind of like pop the bubbles, because I think it tries to bubble itself a little bit because it's so thick, and I think it just kind of helps pop it too. I think I'm kind of noticing it, you know, when you're going over it, it's like it's trying to pop and shit. I think that's probably good for it, I bet. I was worried I put too much material in there, but I'm starting to think it's probably going to be just the right amount of material. Time I go over it, kind of level it out a little bit. This material is really cool though. I'm not gonna lie, like it's, the way it like lays down is just so nice. Like it looks so cool. Alright. Let's try to smooth it out. Just do a quick smooth, and then we'll go back with some more material. Just so that we don't waste that stuff. I don't want to waste what we got left over. I just want to going to use it all. I'm sure I'll be fine. Especially this is the back piece, so this will be probably the highest traffic piece of all of them. So, yeah, that's my mentality at least. Let's try to get all of this on here. And then I'm just try to get it on there, and then we'll do a final kind of roll coat. Which I know some of y'all are like, no, you can't do that, you're gonna ruin it. Which maybe that is quite possible, but I kind of don't really care, to be honest with you. this is, I feel like this is kind of one of those things, like, it's probably gonna be alright, you know? Like, it's probably gonna be okay. I really think it's not gonna be bad. And I guess that's another thing too. If you really put it on heavy, you can make like a really like kind of extra linear pattern. I guess if you wanted to. I didn't think about that, but I guess, you know, yeah, you could. Your techniques and your application could kind of change the look. I mean, I kind of like the way it looks, like normally, because it just kind of looks like whatever. But I guess technically you could make it look, you know, like that. So I mean, that's for next time, I guess, right? Like, I definitely want to use this material on something else. I don't know other projects really just fit on, but like this is definitely pretty cool. And I'm trying to think, I got too much material on here too, I'm not gonna lie. But it's okay. It's definitely okay. Okay, let's get this thing. And I think the pressure too, if you kind of let it, kind of like barely let it roll, it kind of changes the texture as well. Again, like I said, I bet you could really I don't know, I bet you could really make some cool textures to this thing, some cool patterns, just by technique on this thing. Because I mean, it just, I don't know, like it makes you wonder like why like construction guys don't just do this instead of like mud and stuff. Just use this, because like this is like proper. I mean, I think it's like proper paint. I mean, if it's good for like the outside, you would think it'd be really good for the inside. You know, it would last really good on the inside. So I mean, I don't know, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but they don't use it. But I mean, I don't see why you couldn't, you know. And I'm trying to not start it, like, actually, like, set it down on the edge. I'm not trying to, like, do like this and then go. I'm trying to, like, roll in off the edge into it. That way there's not a real solid print mark. But I kind of think I've got it, finally got the texture where I want it. Alright, let's go to that side real quick and see. We got a mosquito in the paint. Rip. It's not bad. Texture's definitely probably a little bit more coarse on this side from what I can tell, but I think it's fine. I'm gonna do one more just roll and try to make it stipple out, just because I think I got a little bit more material on the sides tripping down, so I kind of want to do this just to kind of pick that up and maybe level it out just a bit more. I think we're getting to a point here. I think just call it good and let it do its thing, and then I'll just go get some more rollers. And yeah, so I hope, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough paint though. I mean, again, I think the second coat will definitely will not take as much material, I think, because it's not having to cover as much. It's just all it's doing is just adding layered. But at the same time though, like, I don't want to not have enough and then start it and then not be able to finish it, right? So I mean, that's a very real concern too. Alright, do it one more time because I don't like the way it looks. Oh yeah, now that's cool. Alright, so I think I've got this all done now. Again, I guess we're just gonna have to say YOLO to this, this roller. I'm not sure if you can really rinse it out. So, I don't know, it's a bit of a pity. But I'm gonna pull it off, that way I don't stick to the roller. But this tray is probably trash. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It's all deep in there, so that's a bit of a pity. But you probably could go back with a brush and brush the sides again. But oh, that's cool. I'm not really worried about it. I think what I am gonna do though, I did see a few spots on the old one, or the new, or the other one we just did. A few holes still that weren't filled. I'm just gonna dab them on here. Might be a bad idea, but it's kind of like that. You can kind of see where I did it, but it's okay. I think that'll just help. Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. Mosquito got in my paint. If it wasn't in the middle, I would just cover them up, but I'm afraid you would notice it. But anyway, so that's been me doing the first coat on my bed cover with Bear's Deck Over Extreme Advanced Professional, whatever the hell you call it, with their special texture roller. Very happy with the results. Extremely happy. Like, again, I think like during I made a mess. Like my pants are just ruined. Like it's everywhere. Like it's like hard texture, but it's fine. But yeah, it looks really cool. Like the texture is just like, it's freaking beautiful, man. I love that. It looks so good. I mean, it looks so good. And I just thought something too. I just realized we could have put a freaking design in it. We could have like done like a, oh my god, we could have done a design and like a vinyl design. Where we could have like had it. We're like, oh, we should have done a design. We could have had a logo or something. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to call it a night. I'll come back tomorrow and see how it's drying, if it dries, or if it's not drying, and recoat if we need to, or if I'm happy with the texture. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. Again, I'm a little bit worried about the edges aren't done right, but we're gonna seal them anyway, so I'm not as concerned about that at all. But God, it looks so good. So, anyways, for those wondering, it was Bear Advanced Deck Over. It was Home Depot mixed the paint for me. It was a slate gray. There's the ID number. Anyways, so slate gray, and I did use a texture roller. I can put the part number to that. Actually, I can show you the part number for that. So you'll see it. It's right beside it when you get it. When you buy it, it's right beside it. But this is the part number. This is the Advanced Deck extra roll cover. Where's the part number? I guess I don't have a part number, but there's the SKU number. If it was focus. There you go. Oh, there you go. Anyways, so definitely worked out really well. But yeah. So this has been a very fun experience. So I'm gonna clean that up. But yeah, hell of a product, Bear. Absolute hell of a product, and I really am confident it's gonna work. I think this is gonna be quite literally perfect. But yeah, we will figure it out tomorrow, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to y'all soon. So this is the next day, actually the next night. Just got done spraying the final pieces of the headache rack and the bed rails with the Uno, which is great, which means everything's been painted now. So yeah, this is dry. It's very cool. I'm in love with this material. It is literally cool. Like, just, yeah, this is freaking awesome. I love this material. Anyways, it's dry. Not fully dry, I guess. Technically, I think it's supposed to have like 28 24 to 48 hours before you can like step on it, which of course we're not going to be stepping on it, so don't have to worry about it that much. But yeah, it looks really good. The texture is about as expected. It's really it's really cool, really. Looks like a concrete almost, but works very good, feels very good. You can still kind of tell it's a little bit soft. You can kind of tell like some of these little bubbles right here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this bubble. The little bubble right there, you can tell it's pretty soft still. It kind of dents a little bit, which that's fine. That's to be expected. But yeah, I am really happy with this. I think the color was perfect. I had no outside, and just the sun reflecting on that back glass, that factory foil film on it, just was literally this color. So this is the perfect color, I think. And plus, it's gonna be great for heat. It's gonna reject the heat pretty good. It won't be as hot as a black top. So yeah, I really like it. I might do another coat on it. I'm not really sure just yet, to be honest with y'all. I got the bed frames made. We're gonna put these in the bed frames and urethane the sides. So we might do a secondary coat on top of everything, or we might not. I'm not sure yet. We'll kind of, I guess we'll just kind of go from kind of to see what happens, I guess. But really, I think this is fine. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of the cracks, which I should have had Bondo in, but again, I'm not really worried about it. But it's really happy as material. Very, very happy as material. And also, this is the material we use, the Bear Premium Advanced Deck Over. But also, I should have mentioned this last night, and I was going to mention it last night, but the roller and the specialty roller, you can actually rinse it out with water. I did not know this. I'm not going to put it on there. I'm going to put it here. I did not know this, but you can rinse this paint out with water while it's still wet, like a water hose, like a regular garden hose, while it's still wet, and the entire thing is rinsed out perfectly. I mean, it is psychotic. I never would have thought that, but so yeah. So if you are doing this and you're using this, don't throw it away. Rinse it out. Rinse it very thoroughly. You can even rinse out your tray. You can remember from last night, this was full of crap, and these trowels were full of crap, all that paint, and it's clean. This is just low pressure garden hose. Rinse it out. It's fine. So yeah, very cool. I am in love with this paint. This is so cool. Again, roller perfectly fine. Rinse off with water. But anyways, so just wanted to show you all that again. Not sure what we'll do, second coat or not, but we'll address that later. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, so we're gonna be probably not working on this. I'll probably be at home remembering those we lost overseas. But yeah, we're going to probably jump on this probably a little bit later this week, this upcoming week. Start reassembling it, start doing final builds and final assemblies, so to speak, and retouch up recoats, what we gotta do and stuff. And one thing I kind of forgot about, you might have noticed, there's no latch, there's no holes for latching or anything like that. I figured I'd do that and then just touch it up once I cut it out, but again, not really that worried about it. So anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that. I just wanted to show y'all kind of an update on this. But anyways, I will probably call this video here, and then I will bring it back whenever I work on this thing next. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good Memorial weekend, and I will see y'all later. Bye.